Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Falcon Cast. We have two exciting segments for you today. Our first guest is Elle Spivey, who's going to be here to talk about the upcoming high school musical Mamma Mia, which debuts tomorrow. Later on in the show, we're going to be joined by the North Vermilion Elementary School kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Orr and Miss Jerome. Let's start off the show with some announcements. First, as you may know, North Vermilion is currently under a major building project. If you want updates on the building project, you can go to www.nvbuildingproject.com to see photos of all the latest updates. North Vermilion Theater Arts presents Mamma Mia, Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 7:30, and Sunday at 2. Tickets are available at the door. Adults are $10, students are $7. Please don't forget to move your clocks forward 1 hour before you go to bed on Sunday, March 12th for daylight savings time. Don't forget, spring break is rapidly approaching. School will not be in session March 21st through 25th for spring break. That's all for the announcements. Let's move into our first segment. Our first guest for the show has a role in the upcoming NV Theater Arts performance of Mamma Mia, which is opening tomorrow at 7:30. Welcome to the show, Elle Spivey. Elle, thanks for being here.
Hey.
First, can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Elle Spivey. I've been at NV since second grade, and I've been in theater since I was a freshman. I also do swim. That's my pretty much main athletic thing that I do. And after school on Wednesdays, I have a robotics sort of club that I go to.
Nice. So you said you've been in theater for how many years?
That'd be 3
3 years? What performances have you done?
I've been in 37 Postcards. I've been in Game of Tiaras, Freaky Friday, The Villainous Family of Fremonts, and now Mamma Mia.
All right. So which one has been your favorite so far?
Well, my favorite show, I definitely would say, would be the first one that I was in, which was 37 Postcard. I was in that as a freshman, and it was a cast of only 6 people, so it was really unique and interesting experience, and there hasn't been one like that since. It was really personal, intimate with like the entire cast because only having 6, and especially only being a freshman and having that big of a part right off the bat, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, probably a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah.
So would you say that's your favorite show and your favorite role?
No. I'd say that's definitely my favorite show, but my favorite role has been in our most recent play, the fall play of The Villainous Family of Fremonts, where I was the Dr. Theodore Fremont. And that one was really fun because of all the audience interaction. You get to like practically talk to the audience, ridicule them as they boo you into oblivion, you know?
Yep.
It was definitely the best role, and I think that was the most fun so far.
I also really enjoyed that one. I think my favorite part and the thing I've heard most about was the villainous laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone really enjoyed that. So you say you've been involved in theater since you've been a freshman. You've had a lot of different roles. Do you ever get nervous on stage?
Well, I hate to be completely unrelatable, but no. I really don't get nervous on stage at all anymore. I've had on-stage experience since the second grade because in second grade I did the talent show in elementary school, and I did like a comedy thing. I got a bunch of like dad jokes on a few flashcards, and I had my second grade teacher, Mrs. Shannon, come up next to me, and I was telling her these jokes, and that was the routine. And I think like that very first moment, I remember it pretty clearly because I was standing there in front of the microphone, and I stood there for a few seconds because I had never experienced anything like that until that moment. And I think that was the stage fright right there. But then as soon as I started talking, I think that was the last time I've ever experienced stage fright in my life. It's like it just went away right there.
Yeah. So would you consider yourself a natural performer then?
I definitely think I would be a natural performer.
Yep.
And obviously, like, if there's some mess-ups, sometimes if I'm struggling to remember some lines, then I'll be a little bit nervous about that. But as far as me to the audience and them looking at me, that doesn't get to me at all.
Yeah. So, Mamma Mia opens this Friday at 7:30. Can you tell us a little bit about that performance?
Yes. So, basically the story is there's this girl named Sophie, and she lives with her mom in Greece in a taverna, and she's getting married very soon, but she wants to know who her dad is. So she goes digging through her mom's old diary, and she finds 3 guys that her mom sort of talked about back like 21 years ago. And so she finds these 3 guys. It's Sam, which is me, Harry, and Bill. She finds these 3 guys. So she gets some letters, and she invites all 3 of them to the wedding without her mom, Donna, even knowing.
Okay.
So they show up, and basically just so on and so forth. Crazy stuff happens. That's the lead up into it, pretty much.
All right.
But the story really isn't. The story is only half what Mamma Mia is. What Mamma Mia is, it's songs by ABBA.
Yeah.
So pretty much the whole thing was written around songs by ABBA. So it's Mamma Mia, obviously, Dancing Queen, Honey Honey, Knowing Me, Knowing You, and Money Money Money, and plenty more just ABBA songs all throughout the play.
So most likely, even if you're not familiar with the musical, when someone comes to watch it, they'll recognize a lot of the songs.
I would bet money that 100% of the people coming to watch this show will have at least heard one song that we're performing.
All right. For those who have seen the movie Mamma Mia and haven't seen the musical, how accurate is the story that we're going to portray to the movie?
Well, the movie is pretty accurate to the original musical. But the musical is going to be even more than the movie was. So anything the movie was, the musical has more than that. There's songs that were cut from the movie that are going to be in the musical, and I think the musical is even longer than the movie.
Okay.
Of course, there's differences because theatrical, cinematic productions tend to need different things.
Yep.
But overall, the story's pretty much the same.
Yeah. If it were me, I'd say, why would I go see this musical when I can just watch the movie? But something about live theater just makes it that much better.
Yeah, plus there's more songs. And basically the entire show is songs. There's not that many just plain old lines.
Yep.
And where there are lines, oftentimes they're inside the songs with a little pause, and then you keep singing the same song.
Nice. So, you're not only one of the stars of the musical, but your mom, Mrs. Spivey, is also the director, correct?
Yes, that's right. She's been the director since I was in 9th grade. She started out as sort of like a co-director between her and Mrs. Norman, who was our Spanish teacher a couple years ago. But then Miss Norman stopped doing theater, and my mom became she's the head of the theater department. There's no one else. Just Mrs. Spivey is the theater department. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty awesome. All the stuff she goes through. This is and I think, to me, thinking about it, because she was in productions in high school in this same school under Mrs. Thomas, and then Mrs. Thomas, I think, retires, right?
Yep.
And she comes in as director right afterward, which I think must be awesome for her,
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, for sure. And it just goes to show how it's kind of passing theater through the generation. She was there, and now she's teaching, and now she's passing it on to all of you. As a student and also as the director's son, does that add any pressure to you?
I don't know. A little bit, but I probably take that pressure. I probably neglect that pressure a little more than I should.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So this week is Tech Week, and I've heard stories about all the late nights and how hard you guys work to make this production happen. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, you see, what you see on stage and what you see if you were to see backstage is completely different. And usually during Tech Week, the problem we run into is we have a misbalance of the ratio of drama we have on stage and drama we have backstage. Yep. And we need to make sure there's as little drama backstage as we can and keep all that drama where the people can see.
For sure. All right, so for listeners who want to come to the show, where can they get tickets?
They can get tickets. They can either get it. You can buy tickets at the door when you come, or you can, if you want to reserve tickets, call 765-4 492-5150.
All right. Mamma Mia opens this Friday at 7:30 with follow-up performances Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 2 p.m. Make sure you come check it out. It's going to be a great performance. Elle, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Once again, just a reminder, Mamma Mia opens tomorrow at North Vermilion High School, Friday night, 7:30, Saturday night, 7:30, and Sunday at 2 p.m. Our students would really like to see you there. Now, let's move on to our next segment. Now joining us in the studio, we have North Vermilion Elementary kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Orr and Miss Jerome. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Miss Orr, can you start out by telling us a little bit about yourself?
I have been a teacher here at North Vermilion this is my 4th year teaching kindergarten. I was a graduate of Western Governors University in 2016. My degree was in early childhood education, so I've always wanted to teach tiny kids, and kindergarten was absolutely a good fit for me. I'm been pretty happy here at North Vermilion.
All right. I've heard good things about WGU. So, was your experience there pretty good?
Yes, I really enjoyed being able to keep working while I was going to school, and it made student teaching very easy.
That's awesome. Miss Jerome?
Hi, my name's Kathy Jerome, and I am from Rockville. I graduated from Indiana State University, and I have both a bachelor's and master's degree in elementary ed. I do have endorsements or minors in kindergarten and early childhood education. For me, this is my 29th year teaching kindergarten, and my entire career has actually been here at North Vermilion. So even though I am a Park County girl, I am really happy to have North Vermilion be my school.
That's awesome. What is your favorite part about being a kindergarten teacher?
I would say my favorite part is seeing those light bulb moments when everything comes together and they can put words into sentences, and like when they first see a book and all they're doing is reading pictures, describing them, and then they finally connect the dots and they're able to read the words. That's really just seeing those light bulb moments and sparks.
Miss Jerome, what's your favorite part about teaching kindergarten?
Well, I too have always loved working with the youngest of students. They are always so very excited about their learning, and they will give you 100+% of their energy for any activity, no matter which one it is. They find everything fun and exciting. I really do enjoy reading to my class and teaching them more about the beginnings of reading and modeling things for them that way. And I also like to write with my kids, trying to learn to, like she was saying about the letters and sounds and picking up on those, trying to write words and sentences is exciting for littles.
With different experience levels, 4 years and 29 years, how has kindergarten changed throughout the years?
In the 4 years that I've been here, it has changed a little bit. Just expectations are a little bit more with self-care. The kids are coming in knowing more of their letters. Most of the kids know shapes, know colors. That's not really what we are concentrating on anymore in kindergarten. It's kind of more reading, and it's kind of more what you would expect from first grades when parents were kids. So it's a little bit different in just the short 4 years that I've been here.
Do you think that's from parents working with their kids more? Is it preschools?
I think it's probably a combination of both. Just exposure overall. Kids are exposed to a lot more than they were just even 5-6 years ago. So that kind of helps them come in with a little bit more life experiences too.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, as for me, there's been a lot of changes in 29 years. When I started teaching kindergarten, not only included academics, but also a lot of social development. We used to do something we called centers, which are like small groups for cooperative play and a lot of hands-on activities. And it's not to say that we don't do those now, we do continue. However, our focus is now more on the academic side. And I do see a big change in children that way, needing some more of the social development. Also, over the years, I think our academic state standards have become much more specific than they were when I first started, which is a good thing. And I also see we have a lot more dealing with classroom assessments and testing. That has increased a great deal, even in kindergarten.
Do you think those standards are designed so as students progress through grades, they're more on a certain path, or why has that become more important over the years.
Yes, I think so. And I think the standards in one grade level lead to the standards in the following grade level. They overlap somewhat, but there's always more expected as they move up through the ranks. I know for kindergarten, our standards are relatively basically simple at this point, yet there are some really good academic like mastery levels that we need to reach for. And before, it was more the social development and the cooperative play. There were behavioral standards. We don't see those as much as it's a strictly academic kind now.
So knowing these differences and knowing that students are coming in knowing more than they used to, what can parents do to prepare their children for entering into kindergarten?
It would be extremely helpful if the children were taught self-help skills at home, if they were given the opportunity to put a coat on themselves, know how to function a zipper. We have very few kindergartners that enter knowing how to tie their shoes. That used to be common when kids would enter kindergarten. They would know how to tie their shoes. We're lucky if we have a couple in each grade level. Socialization, kids now especially aren't quite getting out in social environments. Going out to eat is kind of an abnormality for some kids now. So just having social settings, it really helps kids get out there. And if parents can do anything to help them with socializing, teaching them how to share, take turns, wait their turn, know that other people sometimes come first, knowing how to sit for 5 minutes even is a great goal for entering kindergarten. We'll work up from there. But there's a lot that parents can do to help us out other than just concentrating on that academic skills, more concentrating on the social skills and self-help skills.
Yeah, that's great advice. It's something I wouldn't have thought about. I would just think of the ABCs, letters, colors, things like that. But there is obviously a lot more that parents can work on. Ms. Drome, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. I think we all feel, teachers, that parents are the child's first teacher. And so we know they do a lot of things with them, and they do get them somewhat prepared to come to school. And like we were just saying, sometimes some parents focus on the academic portion, others focus on the social portion. It seems like it's, as I was talking to about the social development, we've kind of seen that go by the wayside just a bit. One important thing I think parents should absolutely do is please read to your child, because it improves their attention, their focus, they gain vocabulary, their verbal expression is much better, they use their imagination. It just covers so many areas. It's really a first best thing to do is always read to your child. Plus, once they learn to listen, that leads children into understanding that spoken and written words are meaningful, and that leads to them beginning the skill of actually reading on their own. So it's a real exciting process, but I think it's a very crucial connection that students have to gain. And with parents doing it at home, we're doing it here at school, you really get more a well-rounded thing for the kids to really be able to gain.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are some small things parents can do to work on that social development?
Well, kind of like Mrs. Orr spoke about a little bit, the self-help skills kind of go in with that. The sharing, learning to be in a group, understanding that when adults are talking, children should listen. And that takes a lot of work in the classroom. All classrooms deal with those same kinds of things. But I think if the youngers and have a little more experience with some social interaction with other people, not just maybe with their parent, but with a preschool setting or a babysitter or going to grandma's. You're looking at different generations all helping the child gain social skills, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Last question I have for you. What do you appreciate most about being a teacher at North Vermillion Elementary School?
For me, the community among the staff members is like second to none. I've worked at multiple WRC schools in our area, and I've never had a community feeling like this, and it's pretty nice. We do a lot of fun activities amongst the staff members, so that kind of keeps us all engaged and knowing what's going on in each other's lives, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Just having connection with people around.
Yep. I've done substitute teaching at a lot of schools, and just kind of the feel of this building is much more positive than a lot of other buildings, and I also appreciate that.
I agree with Mrs. Orr on that, absolutely. A couple things that I thought of with appreciating NVES, or North Vermilion in general, was things that over the 29 years that I've noted. One of the first was that we were actually one of the first schools to ever implement a full-day kindergarten program. And when we had the 3 separate elementaries in the very, very small towns, we came together here. I still call this the new building, even though it's been a long time. But when we consolidated like that, it had a really tremendous positive impact on our students to be here for full-day kindergarten. So I thought that was really excellent. We were able to do that.
All right. Sadly, that is all the time we have for this segment. Mrs. Orr, Ms. Jerome, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is all the time we have for the Falcon Cast today. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.